Abuse and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we like and an L to the things that we don't. You will be going first because I need to get mine ready. I sat here and did absolutely nothing during the time you were gone.
Okay. Yep. It's okay. All right. First dub I got is going out to the Lex Show. Them boys done captured the 8. Anthony Davis is awake. Holy Nikes. D'Angelo Russell. The return of deloading? Ice water in his veins?
They've been doing the damn thing.
Let's just let's get to the 6 so we don't have to do this weak ass play-in shit. Can we talk about how weak the play-in tournament is? And how it's literally just a incentive for the NBA. It's just an incentive for the NBA. It's a way for them to start their playoff ratings earlier because no one is watching regular season basketball while March Madness and hockey and everything else and spring practice for baseball and stuff like that is coming on. Nobody's watching regular season NBA basketball. It was like, oh, well, let's try to capture some of those eyeballs again and try to make these games matter until,
It's not a bad idea.
I hate it.
Sure, I get you hating it.
I absolutely hate it.
I also don't think it's a bad idea.
It's like,
for what they're trying to do.
Hey, I know you guys that are actually within the top 8 have played all season, right, to earn your playoff spots. But, if that team right there at the 11th seed beats you twice, they get to take your spot. So it's like 2 games matter more than the entire 82 prior.
Oh, yeah. And that. Yeah.
It's retarded. I hate it.
You should. I just think it's not a bad idea for them trying to get more money. It's a good cash grab. Yikes.
Was hitting the block, boy. I didn't even know that they existed no more.
Yikes.
Let me give a dub out to the Jehovah's Witnesses for giving us a pamphlet on this Sunday afternoon. Good for them. I didn't even know they were still out there doing that work. But yeah, no, play-in tournament absolutely sucks. You ready to get into a dub that I think you'll absolutely love?
Sure.
Let's talk about Michigan recruiting the state of Ohio.
I am done with this podcast.
I think you love it. I feel like we talked about this during the game or the week after the game when Luke Hamilton and Cam Calhoun they committed.
Who is that?
When they committed right after the Michigan game, right? And we had this conversation. I was like, how does it make you feel that Ohio guys are coming? Oh, well, we didn't really want those Ohio guys. They didn't have any even though they were there on official visits. They were at your stadium for the game, for the visit. But, we didn't really want those guys. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. Same thing when that was when Cam, he committed at the game. But then Luke committed a week after. He was like, oh, we didn't want Luke Hamilton. Oh, okay, cool. Did you want Jordan Marshall?
Who is Jordan Marshall?
Jordan Marshall is the number 2 player in the state of Ohio?
I wasn't legitimately asking.
Oh, okay.
That was a rhetorical question.
Mm-hmm. Number 2 player in the state.
Weak sauce.
Not only that.
Number 1, huh?
It's not just that. We got number 2. Number 4 is trending our way. We just signed Ben Roebuck.
Who are these people?
I think there are 5 players out of the top 15 in Ohio that are trending or already committed to Michigan.
Virtual nobodies.
Mm-hmm. The top players in your state are virtual nobodies?
Where's number 1?
It's one thing if it's Luke Hamilton and Cam Calhoun. It's something different when it's Brian Robinson and Jordan Marshall. Those are the best players that your state has to offer.
Are they number 1? Never lost.
So you don't care?
Nah.
Okay, cool. We'll just continue to ransack the state then, I guess.
It virtually means nothing if you don't get a championship off of them.
That's BS.
Is it?
That's a load of bull.
Is it? Is that not your goal?
Us out recruiting you in your state means nothing if we don't win a national championship?
Is that not your goal? Is that not our goal?
Josh, us out recruiting Ohio State in Ohio State's backyard will get Ryan Day fired. If this continues,
if Ryan Day wins the championship and you guys don't, it's not going to get him
Josh,
fired.
how are you going? If you can't hold recruits in your own state, how are you going to continue to recruit at a level that wins you a national championship? That is the point. If you can't put a border up around your hometown, being the Ohio State Buckeyes, one of the winningest programs since World War II,
100% the job.
Oh, really?
It's also developing.
Really? Who develops better than Michigan?
We'll see if they get the job done.
Who develops better than Michigan?
Because they haven't gotten the job done yet, is my point. We haven't either. But if we get to that national championship before y'all do,
you've already gotten there. That's the
I'm sorry.
You've already gotten there.
If we
the national championship is
the national championship with Ryan Day before y'all win one with said recruits, I would say it doesn't matter.
Okay,
and that Ryan Day is not getting fired.
But fine. Okay. That makes sense.
That was my only point.
What doesn't make sense is that all these other factors that aren't going our way, including the performance on the field, that we're just going to somehow win a national championship in the midst of that. We're beating you in recruiting. We're beating you on the field. Where's the national championship going to come from?
We literally ended at the same place last year. So No, we did not. We beat y'all. Okay.
We beat y'all. We won our conference.
We went over that part of it.
We're conference champ. We play in the same conference. Right. Like, we don't have to hold national standards as the only measuring stick for Ohio State, Michigan. We literally compete against each other with the same other 14 teams year in and year out. We compete for the same trophy that is not the national championship.
I even believe that you guys can beat us. Let's just hypothetical. You guys beat us 5 years in a row. We win 5 national championships in a row. Ryan Day is still keeping his job.
I don't think so. Not here.
And most other places. I will say.
At most other places, you're right. Not here.
I will say it's going to be a tough look at it. But 5 national championships in a row.
And the reason why that's so hard for me to even entertain is because it doesn't make sense to my brain that you could lose to Michigan 5 times, but end up winning 5 national championships. I understand
how weird that sounds.
I don't think it's possible.
Because you have to win the rivalry as Ohio State coach. But at the same time, 5 straight national championships is
are at this point in the rivalry, are we more likely to get 5 straight Michigan losses or more likely to get a run of 5 national championships? What's more likely at this present moment?
Are we, say that one more time.
Is it more likely that we have a run of 5 losses to Michigan, noting that we're already 2-0, or are we more likely to go on a run of 5 national championships? Which would be better than Bama? Even Bama didn't go 5 straight years. So what are we talking about here? What's more likely at the moment?
Even if it's 3-3. 3 straight national championships.
Josh, I'm just saying he should probably baby steps. You can't. I'm utterly confused with this notion that you can overlook the behemoth in your own conference and just say we're only going to. I'm not even saying that we're only going to focus on national champion. Like, how do you do that?
I'm not saying you can just completely overlook it. What I'm saying is, if the results end up being a certain way,
but the results haven't been that yet, though. You haven't lost to Michigan and went on to win a national championship. But I think y'all are hanging on to that Georgia game so much to say, man, we were that close to winning a national championship. No, you were that close to winning a playoff game.
Sure.
You were that close to winning a playoff game.
Well, the way TCU looked after.
Fam, what is that? Okay. You know how transitive property works, right? Oh, well, Georgia blew out TCU and we almost beat Georgia, which means we probably would have blew out TCU too.
I wouldn't even say blew them out. I wouldn't even say that.
Or just beat them. Okay.
I could say that.
How about the fact that we blew y'all out at home and TCU beat us? So how are you going to beat TCU? That's how transitive property works.
Because the TCU in the national championship did not look like the TCU that y'all played.
Neither one of those, but I'm saying that's why transitive property is crap, because it doesn't. It's not a something you can measure.
I also wasn't even making that argument to begin with.
I mean,
that specific one.
That's pretty much it. That's why y'all feel like y'all can lose to us and then go on to win a national championship, because y'all feel like y'all almost did it this year.
Well, I guess to say that there is a possibility that it could happen, at least. Whereas
mathematically, yes. It is so unlikely, though. that y'all are going to lose to the best team in your conference, and somehow the only reason why y'all had an opportunity to do it is because like USC lost in the last week of the season.
Sure, I hear all of that.
Only reason.
I hear all of that.
But it's not very likely that you're going to be able to lose to your conference champion and then go on and win.
I'm not even saying that it's likely.
Well, it'll be more likely when it's 12 teams, but we all know that's cheap victory. So,
but if Ohio State shows up in that 12 teams and show up to,
it will be much more likely with the 12-team playoff. Sure, sure. For the years to go on,
if we lose to y'all, not.
But it also makes it more likely that y'all could lose to us twice in a year, which is nasty. You start losing to us twice a year.
That could have happened this year almost.
It could have.
But we probably would have beat y'all because, we thugs.
How?
We thugs.
With
bro.
what?
We thugs, bro.
Y'all wasn't thugs when we came to see y'all.
Yep. And then we would have been thugs when we played y'all again. We were thugs in the first half, not the second half. Second half was... You got any other dubs and L's?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to sit here for a while and rest in it. All right, let's move on to the L's portion. Charleston White.
Oh, God. Again?
Fam. Oh, it's hit critical mass. It's hit critical mass.
I feel like I did hear him do something. I don't know.
Remind me again why it's bad for... Why he didn't like George Floyd. Remember he was talking about George Floyd?
Yeah.
Why was that bad? For people to be protesting about George Floyd?
Did he not say that George Floyd was he said he was an addict?
Basically, because he was a criminal, and that's the type of people that black people support and protest for, right? That was Fresh and Fit's summation as well, because he said it on their platform, right?
They all say things just to say things.
Fam, they done earthed some videos of Charleston White talking about how he used to literally grape women.
Yikes.
Literally, like, yeah, we used to put the crack in the white girl's cigarettes. Yeah, when we run trains, we don't even give you an option. We just walk in with our dicks out. Yeah. See, what you do is you invite her over, and then you invite your boys over too, and just show you don't even give her an option.
Yikes.
Fam, he's literally admitting to raping people.
Yes.
Like giving you the process by which he raped people. Graped people. I'm going to put grape in there.
Grape.
The algorithm doesn't like that word.
SA.
And not only did he do it in his own person, he went on Fresh and Fit's platform and told them that he did it. Yeah. You don't even give her an option. You just walk in with your dick out. Oh, this is the accountability crowd, right? We hold women accountable. We just don't hold rapers of women accountable.
Nope.
Because
in fact, we publish this content.
Because somehow it's still their fault. Because they chose a Charleston White. So even though I'm sitting here with the Charleston White in my face and I won't say anything
to him,
to the contrary about what it is he's saying, it's still women's fault because they chose him. And once they realized Charleston White was who he was, they should have got up and walked out.
And Charleston White is legitimate enough for us to platform him.
This man is literally telling you how he coerced women into having group sex. Literally, step by step. This man named all his friends that he did it with. So now you a snitch. I thought T.I. was the snitch. What happened? This man named... Yeah, it was me, Tony, Ray. I had Bunetta with me. Little Jacob was there. And we all do it. Yeah.
Yikes.
Now, mind you, none of this surprises me because this is the same dude that was telling me how to beat a woman without leaving a bruise. You got a conker on her head like Donkey Kong. You got to jam my neck and she don't have no bruises. Same dude. Imagine going on Vlad and talking about how rappers incriminate themselves and blah, yada, yada, and having video upon video of you admitting to sexual assault. What? Excuse me? You self-snitching on SA? What is going on? Yikes. Yeah. L to all those losers.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. This one is a sore L for me. X-Men animated series has been delayed. That seems to be one of the
oh my god, why?
One of the projects that Victoria Alonso was heavily involved in. She was also heavily involved in the hiring of Bo DeMaio, creator there. Mm-hmm. And I heard some rumors that what she was looking to do was make an all-black X-Men team. Now, before you get too excited, it's not what you think. It's not Bishop and Tempo and Frenzy and Monet St. Croix and Aurora Monroe and no. We got Black Professor X, we got Black Magneto, we got Black Jean Grey, we got Black
Wolverine.
Fam, imagining wanting to break the glass ceiling of white Marvel and just taking all the white characters and making them black and thinking that's what is going to make it happen.
She's inclusive. She's open-minded. That's a terrible idea.
It's fucking awful. It's terrible. That's what you were gonna follow up with. That's what you were gonna follow up the original X-Men series, a cult classic. Come on. And apparently it's so bad that they can't put it out. They can't risk another Ant-Man level flop. So it's being delayed, just like all the things that are at risk of being a gigantic crater for Marvel right now are being delayed. Again, Disney losing a lot of money. Spent $70 billion buying Fox. What have they done with it in the 5 years that they've had it?
They put Professor X and Doctor Strange.
Literally. That's it. And they've been able to say the word mutant a few times. But they have done nothing. What happened to Kevin Feige's 5-year plan? Why did everybody just let him off the hook? See, when I said there was no 5-year plan, everybody got on me. Where's the plan? The seeds that they've laid came in the form of a giant celestial no one acknowledges is out there. Miss Marvel having her power set and origin retconned. And Professor X and Doctor Strange. That's $70 billion? $70 billion? For a cameo and two name drops? I'm pretty sure you probably have this on your list, but I'm going to get to it before you do.
6ix9ine?
Yes, sir. Got stomped out in a Florida LA Fitness.
Now, I don't even know if I have it on my list, to be honest.
Here I was, because I was being told that nobody cared about that snitching stuff anymore, and that 6ix9ine was just going to be able to walk around and be free and do whatever the hell he wants to. Well, these three gentlemen thought differently. Don't know what kind of connection they have to 6ix9ine or Treyway or anybody that he may have offended while he was, singing on the stand. But I once again not a bit surprised at all. That's what happens when you make very public confessions about powerful people that can land them in legal jeopardy. That's what happens. And then to be so boisterous about it and be so cocky about the fact that you got this deal and you walking free and you go here and you go that, basically trying to be the same person you were before you snitched. Okay, well, looks like you got touched. Looks like that money's drying up because you didn't have no security with you. Because we know you don't go anywhere and talk that shit without security. So maybe the funds are running up. Maybe the advance on that $60 million contract you got from whatever that record company was that signed you. Maybe they're coming with you with some of that you owe me stuff. Because the returns are not adding up, fam.
Yeah. I would hope that they have some kind of relation to him. Because it's very possible that, with all the shit talking that he did.
No. You know what the most likely conclusion of this? They beat him up for clout.
Which is corny.
Josh. Corny. As corny as it may be, it is exactly what we were trying to tell him was going to happen to him. Did you think any known associate of Treyway was going to touch 6ix9ine in the immediate aftermath of him snitching? No, because then they would be right in the spot where the people that he's snitching on was at.
Sure, but they also aren't the only people he disrespected.
The people that were going to touch you were always going to be the crash test dummies. Those are the people that they send to do work anyways. It was always going to be the dumb clout chasers who do the work anyways. The problem I was having is that y'all were so convinced that those people didn't exist. That there weren't people out in this world who were offended and have low levels of maturity, and that would put their hands all over you.
It's possible that they weren't offended and literally just did this for clout.
No, they were offended. Of course they were offended. That's the only reason why they did it. It's not reasonable for them to be, but they were.
Or it's 6ix9ine.
Snitching is offensive.
Or it's 6ix9ine. Let's jump this nigga and put it all on the video.
Well, okay. If it wasn't for the trial, would there have ever been a reason for people to beat up 6ix9ine?
I'm not saying that there isn't any chance that they weren't offended. I'm just saying it's possible.
Either way, it was for clout. They beat him up so they could put it on the internet and say, hey, we the ones that finally touched 6ix9ine. And you literally were driving people towards that fact. By being so loud about the fact that you weren't being touched, you were inciting people to touch you.
No, that's a fact. And I'm not taking anything away from that fact at all. I guess I'm just saying in separate regards, those guys are corny.
I knew this was going to happen. And see, if you kind of scan through the social verse, you can see that somebody, since they made their confession, has been noticeably missing from the public eye. Ain't heard a word from him. Ain't seen him nowhere. Ain't seen him doing shit. You know why? Because of what just happened to 6ix9ine. That's the difference between a person who has gone through life experiences and still gotten nothing from them, and somebody who realizes that the presence of bodily harm to me is ever present anywhere I go because of the choices that I've made. Oh, last L is going out to HBO for canceling the Sea Snake series that they were developing. The Game of Thrones spinoff.
Oh, the black one?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
so
whack.
Most people find this out when they look at the production date calendar, right? And most of the time when a show is about to get canceled, they'll take off the date that it's supposed to premiere or whatever, or it'll say delayed or something like that. And that has happened for a few of the Game of Thrones spinoffs. You know, they were talking about doing one for Jon Snow, a Duncan and Egg series. It was a lot of stuff, but I don't. You know what? I really don't know what Warner Brothers' problem is with HBO. Like, I really don't. I feel like people are watching the content. They have really popular shows. I don't know why they're so obsessed with like ruining that platform. But they seem determined in doing it. And then also, I don't really get HBO now, their obsession with limited series in general, or limited seasons in their shows. It's like, I get running too long kind of ruins things sometimes, but then also constantly, shutting things off at 3 or 4 seasons. It's like, oh, all right. It doesn't really give you anything to get invested in. And that's why shows like The Wire or, Game of Thrones or True Blood, those series had like really loyal fan bases because they went on season to season to season. It wasn't like Sopranos. Yeah, let me give you this 6-part miniseries. What the hell am I gonna do with that? Even the more popular stuff that they got going on now, White Lotus, Succession, all those titles have ongoing series. I don't know what the obsession with the
Succession is.
The short miniseries shit is. I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. I don't have any dubs.
That's pessimistic.
Is it?
Yes, by definition.
Nah, I don't think so. Anyway, my first L is going to Young Thug because apparently his sister has passed and he's been in jail this whole time.
Yeah.
And that is terrible. That is awful. And I hope nothing but the best for him and his family during their trying times. I just couldn't imagine being locked up during a time like that.
It does suck.
Yeah. My next L is going to Kanye West I know we don't talk about a lot of the craziness going on with Kanye West, but it must be noted that he has apparently come down from his whole hating Jews thing.
I don't care.
And it came from the most random place, seemingly. He posted on Instagram and said, "Watching Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street made me like Jewish people again." He said more, but that's nuts. That's nuts. That is crazy.
You ever hated somebody?
Yes.
That's where I'm at.
Yes.
I really just want somebody. It's too late for that. But I was gonna say sit him down, but it's too late for that.
It is definitely too late for that.
It's way too late. He is who he is. He's gonna be that person until the end of his days. So
I just thought that was hilarious, and everybody was like, "Jonah Hill's gonna wake up to all these tweets going crazy and be like, what the fuck is going on?" All right, I'm giving my next 2 L's to people who probably shouldn't be saying the N-word and yet have.
Fat Joe?
Close.
Cardi B?
Kinda. No, you're in the wrong race. Anyway, the first one is going to a Mississippi anchor who was fired after she said, "For Shizzle My Nizzle," on air. For Shizzle My Nizzle means for show, my nigga. So,
well, sure, but
and she said it on air without knowing what it meant. Supposedly,
that's why I said that, because
supposedly
me and you know what "for Shizzle My Nizzle" means.
Well, what did you think it meant? Just nothing.
But she don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's one of them things that like goober white people would say to try to be cool. For Shizzle My Nizzle.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm trying to throw her a little bit of bail.
You can't, because she has said something else at one point. I gotta see if I can find it. This isn't the first time Bassett has been criticized for making racially insensitive comments on live television. In October of 22, she referred to a black co-worker, anchor in the field, her grandmother, as her grandmammy.
Okay, but Carmen, girl, sis, I know you well enough to know that those guys working behind you, they probably know who the celebrity game day picker is. So, you need to go swing by the Kroger's, get you a chocolate pie.
A chocolate pie. A chocolate pie.
Well, pecan pie would be just as fine. And you need to go offering it to some of those guys working behind you.
And get the scoop.
And see if you can get the scoop from one of those for return. I know your mother or your grandmammy has got some type of recipe that you could whip up, don't you think?
Grandmammy.
Maybe that's what she calls her grandma. Hey, look, man, we went on a whole diatribe about the dude from Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to dive straight head first into what I assume to be the worst. And there's a little bit of room in both of those situations for things to be misconstrued. Now, for that to be a common thing for you, though, to be always caught up in these racially,
it's time for you to go.
Obligatory things.
It's time for you to be fired.
Either you have the worst luck ever, or you just need to change something.
Yes, change something. Fast.
Get some Rosetta Stone or something. Try a new language.
Hang out with black people every once and again, every now and then, just once or twice a month.
For Shizzle My Nizzle and your grandmammy.
That's not a good track record.
It's not the best.
You know who else shouldn't be saying the N-word, but is catching an L from me? Logic. Logic
is biracial. He could say
Logic is parading his black father around on social media posts, and because of that, and he's proven it to the world, he's also throwing out the N-word like crazy now.
Hey, Daddy, what you got to say to the world?
Hey, what's going on? It's time to go night-night.
If you had advice for anybody out there, what would it be, Dad?
Keep it real.
Keep it real all the time, nigga. You already know what it is.
Huh?
Keep it real all the time, nigga. You already know what it is.
Oh, okay. So I'll get it. Now, because he's never been, at least what I've heard, he didn't really use it all like that. But now that he got his black dad out there, he can say nigga. I mean, he can.
And you're white presenting. You look white.
It's nasty.
You have a white family.
It's nasty work, but hey, what you gonna do?
Stop saying that. I guess the problem here mostly, he just does. It doesn't feel right when he says it. It feels fucked up when he says it.
Keep it real all the time, nigga. You already know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, man, I'm not gonna fight Logic for saying nigga.
I'm not gonna fight him either, but he's catching the L for it. I'm giving my last L to an interviewer by the name of Megan James, I guess is her name, who interviewed Young Jock.
Yo, hey, go ahead. No, keep going. Keep going.
And Young Jock is talking about, the fact that he put out multiple hits, which he does have. And she goes, oh, well, tell me more about your more than one hit.
Tell me about him is what she said.
Like,
oh, tell me about him.
First of all, you're interviewing this person. It's your job to know.
Well, okay, so like I didn't watch the whole interview. I only saw that clip. Is she like is she like Funny Marco? Is she trying to do like funny shit?
I looked for that information as well. I didn't find too much information telling me that was the case.
So it wasn't like a spoof interview. That was serious.
Yeah.
I mean, that it just doesn't even make sense to me. Why would you be sitting down with Young Jock if you don't know who he is or any of his music?
Like, okay, everybody knows it's going down.
It's going down in coffee shop. That easy.
Coffee shop, any, many,
money, mo. How many minutes in the club won't go? I know you see. I know you see it.
You know what I mean? Like, he has hits.
Bam, bam. I know you want some. Looking on that music like a piece of I know you. I know you see it.
Yeah, and coffee shop.
That's another day at the coffee shop.
And It's Going Down has been sampled into like 5 hits on its own, which he's making money off of. You were going ham over coffee shop. It's crazy.
He had some hits.
He did have hits though. All right, that was my last L, but I have a toss up. So my dad loves sending me topics that we can talk about on the pod. And he was like, oh, you can give a dub to Jay-Z because Jay-Z is now worth like $2.5 billion. I'm like, that's cool and all. I'm clearly not giving him a dub either because at this point, I've come to the realization that a lot of billionaires have gotten their money because at some point in time.
You're just getting there now?
No, not now. I'm just saying throughout my life, I've come to the conclusion that, yeah, billionaires are kind of fucked up. I'm
gonna give it to you a lot stronger than he just gave it to you. It is an impossibility to have $1 billion worth of worth and not be predatory to someone else and not feed off of some other community, entity, group, something. It is impossible to get that amount of wealth without being predatory. Period.
And the crazy thing that I feel about that is, on one hand, I feel that way about Ho's accumulated wealth. He is also my favorite rapper. So this is not coming from a place of hate.
I mean, look,
it just is what it is.
Most of the rich people that we idolize and hold up on these pedestals are awful people. They're terrible people. We can't accept that greed and money being the root of all evil and all that other stuff and all those adages that we accept. But then we look at the people who rake it in hand over fist and say, they care about me. No, they don't. You can't make those two things make sense. Money can't be evil, but then all the people who have money are great. That's why they take it all to try to control the evil. No, man. All your faves, Oprah, Jeff Bezos, Microsoft. Bill Gates has been buying up agriculture all over the world, really, but mainly in America for years, trying to break in his like faux meat or faux plants that duh. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Yeah, and that also includes LeBron, Rihanna, Kylie.
Yeah, they all got something. It's all something.
Yeah.
You made that much money. You did something to someone. You took something from someone.
I would agree. And so sorry that I can't give him a dub. So that's why. Anyway, that's all I got.
Give us your dubs and nails in the comments below. Also, tell us what you thought about ours. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back every Wednesday at 10 a.m. for another Dubs and Nails segment. I don't know why I couldn't finish that out.
Absolutely. And make sure you check out our previous Dubs and Nails, which was on Sneeko being a straight clown.
Probably. Yep.
So make sure you check that one out and then see what we thought about previous weeks before. See what we're talking about. Make sure you catch up. And then make sure you subscribe because we do our Dubs and Nails every Wednesday at 10 o'clock.